Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Good. Boy, Jess slid in there at the last second, man.
There was still like 30 seconds left on the countdown.
I was like, she's booping during the countdown dance.
I have
She's
tacos.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I was building my tacos. I was like, I got time to build tacos.
We had like 37 seconds left. I'm like, my door's open. Ripped out my ear. Ran over. It's okay. How is everybody doing this fine Sunday that's not quite a Sunday for some of us?
I mean, it is Sunday.
I mean, it's a Sunday.
I keep forgetting that it's Sunday. Also, why am I so low? I don't understand this concept. Anywho, I keep forgetting that it's Sunday, and I'm like, I have all weekend to do stuff, and I'm like, girl, no, the weekend is over.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a day.
Because yesterday I was like, it's like we get another Saturday, and then today all day I've been thinking that it's Saturday.
If I'm not very acutely aware of what day it is, it's a nightmare in this household. So I know what day it is.
I mean, I got up this morning, I took care of the puppies, I watered the horses, I let the goat out. I made one of the boys let the chickens out because I don't actually know how the chicken coop's open, but it needed to be done. So made sure that my aunt had taken her medication because she has dementia, so she doesn't know if she's taking her medication. She doesn't know what day of the week it is to know if she's taking her medication today or not. Did the boys like make sure that she was taking her medication? Not really. So,
That's fine. She won't even know if she took it or not.
It's been a grand time doing all of the things.
Good.
I had problems staying awake today, and I just kept falling asleep. And I don't know, I was so tired, like I could not concentrate. I could not do anything. I kept just like passing out. And I don't know if it's because I didn't sleep well last night, and I had one of those nights where you just suddenly hear every noise, and you're like, "What was that? Somebody breaking in? Who was that? What was that? Where'd that come from?" And so I just kept hearing stuff, so I had to keep getting up and look. And then tonight's going to be terrible because I literally slept all day.
Yeah, and I have not. I was like, I feel like I'm about to crash, and you're like wired for sound. I woke up at. And here's how heavily I was asleep. I woke up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, I think, adjacent. And I was like, something is weird. Like something is off and I can't pinpoint it, but there is something very strange happening right this minute. And I was like, what is going on? And I like was laying there and I was looking around and I'm like, what is different? My lights were on. Like all of my lights that are behind me in front of my bookshelf were on. And I'm like, how the fuck did they get on? Like
they didn't have them on last night.
Nope. And I was like, what is happening? I was so confused. And then I realized that my fan was off. And I was like, we had lost power and then power came back on. And my fan didn't restart. One of them did. The other one didn't. And then my lights came on. And so I had to like get up and like turn a fan on and turn off lights and like figure out what was happening. I felt very out of it though.
That is one thing I hate about having like a digital fan, like I have the tower fan, is that if the lights flicker, the fan will not come back on. It will turn off and I will immediately wake up when the fan turns off. And I'm like, what is
my little one in the window comes back on because that's like an actual physical knob, but that does not make enough noise. And so I was very aware that it was quiet and bright. And I'm like, what is going on?
You use your fan for noise?
Yeah. You don't?
No.
What do you use for noise?
The television.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, I could never.
Absolutely not. No.
I don't even have a television in my bedroom. I could never.
I can sleep in silence. I just have really bad nightmares. So
no, I can't sleep in silence. I have to have a fan.
Correct. I need a fan.
That to me is silence. Like I have to have something that is leading my dreams lest I have nightmares. If my brain's allowed to make up its own things, I have night terrors.
Jess, we come from a generation. I come from a generation where in the middle of the night, it's like pops and horrible stuff that you don't want in your dreams.
Always Celine Dion in the middle of the night.
Beyond different CDs, but also usually reruns of Cops.
At the highest volume possible at 4 a.m. for some reason.
No regulation.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't have cable. So I'm watching like Netflix or movies or like, and to be fair, like I can watch scary movies and like serial killer dramas or documentaries. And I have better dreams than if I sleep with no television.
I can't sleep with the television.
I can't do the television because the moments where it'll be quieter, I'll start to like drift, and then when they suddenly say something, it like wakes me up, and so I can't. My mom always slept with the TV on. She turned it down really low, but she slept with the TV on.
I'm so glad you don't, because my hearing is immaculate and it would drive me bananas. It's awful. Anyway, we're going to start saying hello to people. Let us know what you're working on tonight. Haven't said hi to a single one of you. Hi, Maria. How rude. I know. Hi, Kelly. Hello, Bree. Hi, Leah. Cool gamers here. A baby blanket tonight.
So speaking of that, I saw a TikTok where a little girl read the word crochet and what it was, and she called it crocheting. She's like, I want to go get stuff so I can start crocheting. And her mom was like, what?
I call it crocheting. I'm going to go crochet.
She's like, it's like sewing, but with a bigger needle. It's crocheting. And I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. 7. Hello. I'm ready to party today. I'm working on catching up on book reviews, which I mostly do for future me to remember what I thought, and also reading. I finished a book today and I'm angry that I actually read it.
What did you finish today?
I have all weekend. I finished Vicious by L.J. Shen, which is just 376 pages too many of horrible smut. And it's so popular and the ratings are so ridiculously high. And I don't understand it. It made me viscerally angry. Because I was like, no, like everybody loves this. It's going to get good. I'm going to finish it because it's going to redeem itself. Like something's going to happen. We're going to turn around. We didn't. I'm melting. Yeah, I'm sorry. That is warm. Also,
I don't know Celsius. I'm sorry.
They said 88.
I don't know how hot that is.
They said 88.
88? Oh, that's winter here in Texas, so I get you.
Based on readiness to party. All the caffeine. You're back with a holiday weekend and then switching back to second shift in this week. Okay. Sunday nights on first shift happen early and tech free, but that's over now. Welcome. Thus begins the fan versus television noise war.
I need noise, but I need very constant noise. It can't be like a noise or to wake me up.
If I hear voices or if I'm listening to a show, I have to be watching it because I can't, even if it's a show I know, I can't imagine what's happening because of my aphantasia. Like I can't listen and not watch, and then it keeps me awake because then I'm hyper focused on the dialogue because I can't see it, and then it doesn't work for me. Hello. I read Samurai Game.
Nice.
Very good. I contemplated reading. I'm reading Bands of Mourning. Yep. But I do think I'm going to read right now.
I am at 54% of this book and 51% of Her Majesty's Royal Coven. And I feel like I've been reading both of these books for an entire year. Why are they not over yet?
How do you feel about Her Majesty?
I
unhauled it. That's why I ask.
Honestly, part of me wants to DNF it, but part of me is like, you've spent a year reading it, so you should finish reading it. It's only been like a few days. And then I feel like they're doing something interesting, and I want to know what that thing is. Basically, I mean, obviously I can't spoil anything. I'm only at 51%. But there is like some context of, in this universe, witches are female, warlocks are male. Typically, the witches are more powerful than the warlocks.
Hell yeah.
And so there is a character that was born male, but is trans and has a lot of power. And so it's bringing up like an interesting topic of, you are what you feel you are, which I think is interesting. And I want to read that part of it.
Yeah.
But the story itself, boring as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if I could just like read some highlights and know what's going on with that plot line, I would be happy and would never pick it up again. But I wanted to like it so much. And I'm just not. So
yeah.
I'm just going to eat my tacos and watch some YouTube videos and maybe look up some recaps and or synopses. What's the word I'm looking for?
Reviews?
Not a synopsis. Not even a review.
Summary?
Where they blurbs?
A summary.
Mm-hmm.
I might just be looking up some summaries of both books and moving on with my life.
I think that's a great idea.
Or try to read something else and see if it's just me.
I will always lean to it being the problem. However, I'm relatively certain in this particular instance, you are not.
I did just finish The Final Empire, so I feel like it has put me in a book coma forever. Have I read anything else since then? I don't remember. Any whoozle. It doesn't matter.
I get it, but I don't think it's you.
It might be.
Give me like 2 seconds. My food's here, and then I'll turn on the timer.
You good? After I finish the baby blanket I'm working on, I'm going to work on a blanket for you.
Excellent.
Do it.
Have fun crotcheting.
I have a rain noisemaker and my phone playing YouTube. I have a playlist called Sleep Aids. It's full of 2 to 12-hour videos, mostly past live streams to help me sleep. During the summer, the fan is added. I have a fan in the window to bring cool air in and another fan that's loud that just blows.
I have a fan for air, but it's my ceiling fan. It doesn't make noise.
I don't have a ceiling fan. So yeah, but I get it. I also completely forgot that I started a ASMR, like just noise YouTube channel.
Oh, you did. I remember.
I did. And I made so many videos at the very start that I had videos because I was putting up like one every couple weeks until like the middle of July. So they've just been public. I haven't checked back in on the channel at all. They've just been publishing every couple of weeks. And I'm like, I subscribe to it. So every now and then it'll show up in my feed and I'm like, oh yeah, I did that thing.
Do you have any subscribers?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yeah, I subscribed.
I literally haven't ever gone back. Maybe it was, what was it? Ambient sounds instead of ambient. Haha, because sleep, ambient.
Yeah, let me go see if you got any other subscribers.
It's punny, man. That's a good name.
It is a good pun.
It's a great name.
It's a great pun.
It's ambient ASMR.
That's what it is. I guess there's another reason why it would be.
You have 14 subscribers.
Way too high. 14 subscribers. I think I started it at the beginning of the year, but I've done nothing. with it. Hello.
You have a paper ripping ASMR that has 48 views. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
I mean,
considering you haven't done anything.
I have never mentioned it. Silence gives me anxiety. I can't. Silence is too loud. It gets loud.
But get this, right? I'm like, I love ASMR. And Julie's like, I don't understand how you like it. I'm going to start an ASMR channel. And I'm like, really? But her ASMR is the kind of ASMR that doesn't have like mouth sounds or any of that stuff. It's just like simple.
I feel
rain,
like
sounds kind of a thing.
The ASMR that got really, really popular for a while was not ASMR that I could handle. It made my shoulders go up to my ears and it made me like dry heave.
You
So I
mean
was
where
like,
like people tap on stuff
ugh.
and rub things together and do
Yes. Yes.
I love
And
it.
why?
Any kind of weird talky things.
I love it.
Little mouth when their mouth makes
found
sounds and they're like
I found a new one where
they
they take like a
whisper.
spoolie, a little like eyebrow spoolie,
Stop
and they
it.
like push it through their teeth, and it makes it like, and I love it.
I would vom.
Is this what happens when we're sitting here being quiet and working and I just go?
I can't handle that.
I do it all the time. And then I catch myself and I'm like, Julie hates that. You should stop.
I don't really like when
Can't.
people whisper. It sounds super like
I don't
stupid
like-
to me,
I don't
like the way that they try to whisper.
Yeah, except
But
you
I
guys
don't hate
me.
certain mouth sounds.
Can't.
Ambient ASMR. She put it in the chat.
Yeah, I put the links. Because like those are ones that I can handle. Like I can handle these particular kinds of sounds. I can't. And
I will say though, I used to listen to ASMR to sleep, but I don't anymore because I got a good sound machine. Now I actually either listen to, there's one that's like rain on a tin roof, or there's an ocean one. Those are the ones that I listen to for bed now.
Ow. I need to decondition myself though. I can't listen to rain anymore when I sleep because then it starts raining outside and it's like I'm narcoleptic.
Yeah.
I'm out. and I cannot stay
Yeah.
awake. I cannot.
Yeah, my work desk is next to a window, and when it rains, I'm like,
Yeah, it's painful. I'll be driving and just the sound of it on the windshield and like the wipers, I'm like, oh no, here I go. I can't. It's not.
I'm here to tell you, if I listened to rain sounds while I slept, I would pee the bed every single night.
It's not a problem for me. But
no, I don't have that problem.
I desperately need to not. I not. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Hello.
No.
Kate L here.
We need to get to a sprinty sprint.
I had to switch to this account. Working on chapter 85 tonight. It's stumped me for almost 3 weeks now. You've got this. You're here. I will be working on a new. I do too. I think I'm going to start a new novella today. I finished one today. I think I'm going to start another one, unless it really pisses me off, and then I'll read. Do not click your tongue or tap long ass fingernails on the microphone. The scratching on the microphone. I can't. I don't want to talk about it.
I love it so
much. No.
There's especially a new one too where they take a plastic spoon and do it on the mic, and it makes like the coolest sound.
No.
It gives me all of the tingles up my back and up my head.
It gives me the icks. A lot of yoga channels are like that. They use a soothing voice. It sounds like they have asthma.
There are certain ASMR artists that I watch that do soft spoken instead of whispering, so it's just like a softer like talking. That is okay, but when they try to whisper, I'm like, stop it! Just stop it.
I usually do ASMR. I can handle rain, ocean, or fire. Fire is nice. I think I have a fireplace.
Fireplaces are nice, yeah.
I usually pick a movie or a show that I've seen a million times. There you go. Comforting voices are great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm like super sleepy and I want someone to put me to sleep, I'll watch like people going through their makeup collections, and they're just like the clicky clacking of like going through palettes and stuff will put me right to sleep.
I used to pass out to people unhauling stuff, like their makeup collections all the time. I literally thought that you were talking about that's what you listen to go to bed was Bag of Bones by Stephen King. And then I realized that's what you're reading tonight, which makes a lot more sense.
Well, because somebody's actually on track.
I know. We're going to do a sprint right now. Oh, I'm so glad. You may listen to all of it. We're going to do 2 45-minute sprints. We're going to start the first one. Nows. Yeah. We're going to start it now. Hello.
I don't know why I just hit puberty right then, but
let's see what we can get done, friends.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
No, thank you.
Couldn't find my mute button.
That was a clusterfuck of a sprint. How did everybody do?
I ate food. I saw puppies because Jess sent me a Marco Polo of puppies.
What the fuck, dude?
I sent you one too.
Oh, okay. I was about to get real mad. Big mad.
I sent you one first and then sent Amber one, so Amber didn't have to be mad that you got one and she didn't.
Thank you.
Because I love you both equally and I don't want either of you to feel left out.
But let's just stress you sent it to me first. That's fine.
Because you're higher up on the list of people I send things to.
Because you like me more.
Jess did also send me a 2-month free trial again of the Plus.
I get them all the time. It's always like, do you want to send one to your friend? And I'm like, yes, I do.
He tells me the same thing, but then it's like, you've already sent one to Amber. You can't send it to her again. And I'm like, the hell?
I've sent like 2 to you and like 2 to Amber.
I don't understand it.
He just keeps giving them to me and I just keep sending them.
I mean, good for you.
I appreciate it.
I looked up it does exactly what I thought it was going to do.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, it kind of makes me want to read it now, which is a weird.
Okay.
But I don't know if I have enough therapy time clocked to finish that because it's going to hurt me. And then I tried to look up Her Majesty's Royal Coven and couldn't find anything. And I also ate tacos, and I also
tacos
took the puppies' mommy out to feed them.
They're getting so big.
They're huge, and they are, I don't know why, but they're not eating like as much actual food. Like we wet dog food down for them to eat, and they're not eating as much as they normally do. That, or I'm feeding them more than Mom normally does, because they normally eat whatever she feeds them.
Yeah.
And like when I put it out there, it's usually still like half-ish there. So maybe I'm feeding them too much. They're not starving to death. They're eating plenty of mommy's food, so.
Mommy food.
And I have a Merlin. So, all good.
I'm just glad you have a Merlin.
Me too.
I dealt with Grandma. I wrote some words. I did some writing. Not much. Exactly 341 words. But I realized that I'm revealing my book cover tomorrow, and I don't think I actually made images to share the book cover. I think I just
made the video.
Made lead up like stuff, you know, like, hey, this thing is happening. And I'm like, oh, you know what I should probably do is actually have things to share. So.
But it's in my inbox.
Right. So the newsletter has seen it, but the rest of the world hasn't. And I said I was going to post it tomorrow on all the socials, except I don't actually have images to share on the socials.
I haven't opened the email yet, so I'm like, how did you share it in the email if you don't have it to share?
I had a private YouTube video, like a little short, like reveal, like video, that people got the link to if they were in the newsletter. But
I didn't open the newsletter because I have already seen the cover, so I was like,
it's rude. There's other things in there. You could still help my click rate.
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay, fine.
Like, I just seen it when I went to get my email to come into here.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
God, you're so mean.
So I've got to make some images. So I started doing that.
I'm excited that everyone will see it and know, everybody knows the title, everybody's seeing the image, and like,
and we can talk about it all we want.
About it.
And we can talk about it because I am bad with secrets and I don't like it.
You're not bad with secrets.
That you aren't, but you also expect to be, so you prepare yourself. Like, it took you forever to actually say the name of the first and the second book just in like casual conversation.
I wouldn't.
Because you were like, if I get used to saying it, I'm going to say it.
I'm going to slip. So even though you guys knew
it, I helped her create the title and still she didn't say it in front of me.
Nope. I wouldn't say it. And then for a while I like dry heaved every time I said it. So at least I don't do that anymore.
She did do that. You dry heaved even at the idea of publishing the book. It'd be like, you have a book deal, and you'd be like,
I would freak out. I would freak out. Be like, I got to reveal the title. I got to reveal the cover. Oh my gosh, it's publication day. And I would dry heave the entire time.
Guess what?
That stopped at least. Yeah. Well,
You are finishing a trilogy. It's going to be over. You're going to have published a complete trilogy by the end of this year.
it's wild.
Not to mention all of the novellas.
Yeah. 12 novellas in a year and finishing a trilogy.
It's like over 300,000 words of a trilogy.
Yeah, it is.
Is it closer to 4?
The first one was about 100. The second one was about 109. The third one's about 142. So,
like 375-ish.
Yeah.
That's like one Brandon Sanderson book.
It's true. It's true. So.
Well, one of his smaller ones.
One of his smaller books.
Way to invalidate my hard work.
Because I watch his weekly update videos, and he's writing the next
Wheel of Time?
Stormlight archive book, and he keeps going like, bing, I'm 22% done. It's going to be about 450,000 words, and I'm like, oh, God.
It makes me want to give up. Like, I have a 40,000 word story, and I'm like, what else do I put in it? Like, this is it. This is everything. It's all here. What else do I need? Like,
I can very easily write 100K for a story.
I cannot.
400, I could not. I can't imagine a story being 400. There's no way.
And the sad thing is like, while you're reading it, you never feel, I mean, I haven't read the ones that are that long, but I've read enough. I mean, I've read Elantris, I've read The Final Empire. Like, you never feel like you're reading something that is that massive.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't feel like reading this, where I feel like I've been reading it for a year.
So,
yeah.
With Julie, like, we would be writing, and we both wrote around 20-ish thousand words of our stories. And she was like, I haven't even gotten out of the first act yet. And I'm like, I literally just wrote my midpoint. I don't understand.
My first draft of French Grim Reaper was less than 20,000 words. The whole fucking draft.
She was
I
like,
what are you putting in it?
In the like beginning, and I'm like, you're in the setup still? Like, how?
I think I'm 60 or 62K into the contemporary romance that I was writing when we were together, and I haven't reached my midpoint.
I was done with my book in less than that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm on like draft 4, and it's less than 40,000.
I'm a wordy woman. But listen, here's the thing. Am I wordy? Yes. Are my books also very easy to read and like quick reads? Yes. I'm not some like complex writer. It's fun.
I can't even write that many easy words, is my point, my dude.
Finish reading Fragments of Horror.
Sorry to yell in your ear.
Very good. There's one person who will rub their cat's belly with a makeup brush. My cat would murder me. There's a cat purring. I do have a cat purring on my channel. My cat would kill me. Yes, did you? Did you like it? I'm reading an arc of Ink Blood Sister Scribe. That's a title. That's not bad. You're almost done. You're there. 38% into Bag of Bones. And started some skincare. I love that for you.
I can't remember if I read that one or not. I read a lot of his stuff when I was like a young teen.
Whose?
Stephen King.
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, that's right. She did say it. Had a shower, got ready for bed, watched YouTube videos, crushing it. Ate food, got in 664 words. Also, hello.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's
At
amazing.
least one Jessica's crushing it.
145 words while watching a 1 hour long video of Among Us. That's a lot of Among Us. About 200 words, which is something. Yes, it is. Okay. Making good progress on your blanket. I'm going to diamond paint for the next sprint. Crushed it.
Nice.
I moved the microphone closer to you so people could hear you purr, and then you stopped purring.
Sure did.
Here you go.
Oh, wait. Oh. A little bit. Yeah. It's your free ASMR for the night, peeps.
Okay, so when we're done with this, download that. Take that little second, that little, and then like just repeat it for like 20-minute video and put it out there.
Aww. None of my books are more than 55K. Just run out of stuff to say. Want to move on to the next thing.
Me too.
I never run out of stuff to say.
Oh, bye.
Merlin is happy.
I feel like your books, you tend to, in the first draft only, it all works out in the end in editing. But I feel like in your book specifically, you do write a lot of words, but I feel like you put a lot more words into the first half of the book. And then you do better on the setup and setting up these characters and showing like this, like getting all this started. But then when the action happens, you're like, blah, blah, blah. You're like, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later.
I do.
So like, even though it's like 60,000 and you haven't hit your midpoint, your second half isn't going to be as long on your first draft as your first half was.
No, the second half is usually like I add edits because I usually learn more about the second half after I'm done writing the first draft. I know the beginning really, really well. I don't usually know the end when I start. And I learn more about my characters as I start going. So then things change.
Yeah. And then you also just enjoy the part of digging into the characters and getting them set up and figuring out who they are. Like you do enjoy that part more.
And I love, like, even on, I don't have very many reviews on the novellas for this year, but the ones that I do are like, there's actual character building. I was like, yes, even in a 22,000 word smutty novella, there is character building.
Because that's what Julie does.
That's what I do. Thank you.
You had character building in like 1,000 word little snippet of stories in your short story collection.
I did. I don't know how not to. It's one of those things that I like. I like doing as a like a writing practice, but I also just naturally kind of gravitate towards. It's the psych degree.
I tend to gravitate toward the plot first, and then the characters come as I'm working out the plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like a psych degree without the work. Is that possible?
No.
The thing is like I would love if they created some sort of like specialized certificates, and I know they have these. Not what I'm talking about, but like I want to go to school and learn about psychology, sociology. However, I don't want to worry about math and science and all these other things that you have to do to get the degree. I just want to go and have a focus on a certain subject. They have that in the IT world, right? I can go and get all kinds of certificates that are very, focused on one thing. Why don't they have that in other fields?
Why do you need a general education to get a master's education in a thing? That's what I mean by I want to have a psych degree without all the work.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, learning about the psychology stuff would be fun.
It is.
But the math, the science, like the physical science, no.
No thanks.
No. Because I had to do, like, statistics and different, like learning how to do, like, psych studies and different, like, and I was like, I don't want to know this. Neuropsych?
I think, too, it's like when you go to college, this is the part I don't understand. When you go to college, the first 2 years is just relearning the things that you learned already in high school. The English, the science, the math. You already did that in high school. And it's not until you've already done 2 years that you actually start to take classes that are based on your degree. And it's like, can we just skip that 2 years and just focus?
Yeah.
I mean, I took them the first couple years. I can explain it to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I did take classes for my major earlier, but
you know what I mean? Like you take 2 years worth of basics that have nothing to do with your degree, that you are stuff you already learned, even if it's at a little bit higher of a level. It's basically just more math, more
had
science.
to be tested and have like a GPA to get into the college. They know math and science. You don't. It's yeah.
And like, do I need to know trigonometry to do my psych degree? No, I don't.
No,
I don't want to take trigonometry.
I don't.
I did my testing for college, and I basically tested because they test you for math and English. And so, like, my English was high enough that I didn't actually need to take any English classes, but my math was so poor that I needed to take 3 remedial math classes before I could take a math class that counted towards a gen ed degree.
No.
Like, on my first day of math class in college, this is honestly the reason why I quit college, legitimately, was math. On my first day of math class, we learned what a whole number is and where it originated from. I started back at kindergarten, basically, in math class. And I was like, I'm not doing 3 semesters of math.
No. Before
I get to math that counts. No, not doing it.
No.
That's why I quit college. It wasn't worth my parents' money to do that.
No, what sucks though is like when you if you go back to college, like I did. So I had been out of college for a long time, and I went back about 5 or 6 years ago, to finish my associate's degree. And I had to take college algebra, and it was my first, I don't know why I did this to myself. It was my first class back, and I took college algebra, and all of the algebra that I had learned in high school was gone. Like, I memorized it long enough to pass tests and stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing.
So like, I struggled so much, and then plus that's the only class. No, that and one other, but one of the only classes I had to go and take my final exam at a testing center where they watch you, and I have test anxiety. And if somebody's watching me, I don't do well. And I was just like, I just need to pass it. I don't even care. I just need to I can't do this to myself. And I told them no, and they did let me go into like a more private room, but they were still watching me, and it was still like had a lot of anxiety.
No, thank you.
I don't know. I'm 36 years old, and I have not one time in my adult life used algebra.
No.
I have been out of school for the same amount of time I was in school. Actually, longer, because you don't start school at 1. I've been out of school longer than I was in school, and the amount of times I've used physics or algebra or trigonometry has been exactly 0.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were in school? We were all in high school, like in the 90s. In different parts of the 90s, but in the 90s. And they told us all the time, you need to learn this stuff. You're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket when you're older. And now I literally have the entire internet in my pocket. I can literally just be, hey Siri, what is this to the x of this, and she'll tell me the answer. Not that I've even ever had to do that.
I do use a percentage calculator quite often when I'm doing the math on figuring out where I'm at in an audiobook. But the computer does that for me.
Yeah.
And I could figure it out on my own if I had to. But why?
You could literally ask Siri, like, what is a percent? How much percent is 235 out of 563? And it'll tell you what percent you're on.
Right. I don't need to do the math.
No.
Nope.
Hey, what's a 20% tip on a ticket that costs $38? Like, she'll tell you that. You don't ever have to do the math.
Who saw that rant coming? Anybody see the college tangent coming? Anybody?
We haven't even talked about.
I try not to talk about college because I always get on a tangent about it because I hate the way college system works.
Yeah,
me too.
What do we got? I tutored for Vito math, so this is fascinating. I totally wasted that entire rant about just the opening scene of the book that I'm writing my review of. That is quite a rant. I took a break between high school and college, and in that time forgot every little bit of algebra I ever learned. I went right from high school into college and finished my bachelor's. But I don't think if I went back for my master's, I would have to do like math and science. And
No,
shit.
you don't with
You
masters.
you just go into this subject.
You just do the 2 years it takes to get your master's, and you do your thesis, and you get your master's degree.
I would crush it. If it was affordable, I would crush it. I'd have like 5 of them.
You're a workaholic. You would crush it.
I really would.
Yeah.
But
it's not affordable.
No. I in high school also had terrible math teachers. Like, when I tell you I had terrible math teachers, I say that not because I feel like they didn't teach me anything, but because both of my algebra 2 and geometry classes, there were less than 10 students in the class. We had very small class sizes in math in my high school. And I was the only person who passed both of those classes. And I feel like if you have 10 students,
there's no excuse for that.
And you could only get one of them to pass. And I passed with C's, my dudes. It wasn't like I passed with A's. I passed with C's. And both of those teachers, it was their last year teaching. And they were young. Like, the one was like in his 30s and the other was in her early 20s. Like, she was fresh out of college.
I'm still done.
They got fired.
Oh, not like early retirement.
Not like they gave up. They were fired.
Yeah. I was actually really good at math and English in high school. I didn't like science and history. Those are the things that I didn't like. But I did well with math. But then once you get out of school, like, you don't use it. Like you said, there's all these years you go that you don't have to use that kind of math, and then you just forget it.
It's if you don't use history, you lose it.
History's my jam.
I only liked history for one class, and I had a teacher that made it fun. But other than that, like, I hated history and I hated science. Except for anatomy, because I got to like cut things open. That was kind of fun. But
I took art history in college. And that's like the one class that I succeeded at very well, actually. I loved art history. It was like one of my favorite things. I wish I could take art classes forever.
I hate it. Scene in question was set in the 1920s. I already hate it. I already hate it. Historically inaccurate. I wouldn't have even known, but I would have already hated it. With English teachers. I schooled one until she quit. I
had a geography teacher quit the second day of class because I was like, I'm sorry, that's not where that country is.
I never did that. I was always in advanced placement classes. So the teachers that got to teach the advanced placement classes had like masters, and like they had majored in that subject. So there was not anything that they didn't know that we knew, So it was the regular teachers that probably that happened to, but the advanced placements were always like, oh yeah, I have a master's in geography. And I'm like,
how's that going for you, buddy?
What? And you're working at this school for $30K? Fun.
We're going to start a sprint or we're going to be here all night long.
You mean we haven't already done 2?
Shut up. No.
Oh my God. Why are we still talking?
I wish I knew.
Let's go. Let's do this. Ready?
Yep.
Good luck, everyone. Let me find the tab. There we go. I just realized I had the sound turned way down on that. I was like, why is it so low today?
I heard it. I was just still working away here. By the time I got my image done and started writing, I was like, just getting into it.
It's good.
How'd we do?
Good.
Hmm.
Good.
I love that for you.
How did you do? Good.
Good. I got my image done. I got another 300-ish words. So, not bad. How'd the Jess do?
I decided that the best thing to do would be to start reading something else.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. So I started reading a graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
I'm on page 98.
Are you going to like continue with the other two books, or are you deciding to walk away?
I have no idea.
Cool.
I don't want to quit.
Quit.
But I feel like
Julie likes the DNF books, though.
I do too. I love
Clearly
it.
I
It makes me so
don't.
happy.
I just finished the worst book ever.
I love DNF books. It makes me happy. I love it. It's a great time.
I agree.
But, however, I feel like the reason why I want to stop reading them is because I want to finish something.
That's why Julie finished the other book. She was like, I just need to feel like I finished something.
I need to feel like I finished something, and I'm really close to being done this. I'm just going to keep going because I'm sure it'll redeem itself. Everybody loves this book. And I was like, I'm at 72%. I'm just going to do it. When I tell you, I skim read that book so hard. I was like, I just need to mark something as read. Damn it. But I only skim read like the last 20%, which in a smutty story is bullshit anyway, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the first 11 days of the month, I read 7 books. From the 12th to today, which is 16 days, I've read 3. So I feel like
you were reading big books, though.
I mean, I was. I read some big books. I read some little books. But like, I didn't hate anything I read. I mean,
I don't know. I don't keep track of how many books I read anymore, but this was still the last book that I finished, and this was like a week or 2 ago, and it's like this big, and it was not good.
I think it's because I'm doing a month-long readathon, and we're at the end of the month, and I feel like I'm just not getting anything accomplished, and it's like a team challenge. So I feel like I'm letting my team down, and I'm like, I just want to finish a book.
You are, you loser.
Right, exactly. So I was like, maybe I'll just read this and finish it in a couple of hours, and then I'll feel complete.
I'm looking at the books that I read this year. A lot of them, I DNF'd quite a few, quite frankly. A lot of them are novellas, and I have only read 46 books, and some of them were like 50 pages. Some of them were not, but
59, and I've read a couple of novellas, but even the novellas were like 100 pages plus.
That book was 561 of just straight up schmishmorn.
I
don't think I've read much schmishmorn.
I just don't keep track anymore because I just want to read for the love of reading and not because I need to put it on my spreadsheet.
For the love of reading.
Because that's what I end up doing is like, I'm not reading enough. I can see it on my spreadsheet. I need to read more. And then I don't read because then I feel like I have to read.
Have
I been reading more this year because of that? No, I haven't.
I don't normally feel that way.
Yeah, I'm just tracking it on StoryGraph privately, like only I can see it, but I just like knowing what I've read because I feel like sometimes I read in like a fugue state in between writing books and forget what I've read and what I haven't. Especially when it's like KU novellas and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, did I read it? And if it's not marked somewhere, I will not remember that I did. You know?
I enjoy keeping track of things, and I like to see like how well I do in one month as compared to another. And I don't normally have the feeling I have right now of not completing things. I feel like it's because it's a 3-day weekend and I have been building it up as like, I can get so much done in these 3 days, and I've done fuck all. So I think that's part of the problem.
Maybe. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, this year I'm just gonna try to not track and see if I actually end up feel like I read more without having to keep track, and I don't feel like I'm reading more. It's about the same.
Yeah.
So I may next year go back to like keeping track somewhere, but
Yeah.
the only way I keep track is I move it from my unread shelf to my read shelf.
I can't wait to have more shelves. I get to have more shelves soon. I'm so
I moved
excited.
I moved mine from my unread shelf to the floor in Danica's bedroom.
My gosh.
Oh, that's another thing. Like all day today, I've been like, should I just start putting my shelves up? You should just start putting your shelves up, and then I don't. So
You should.
I should. I should have already done it like 6 months ago.
Well, that too. All right, let's see how everybody else did. I'm not allowed to take AP classes. That's stupid. That's stupid. Oh, you guys are off to the side still. I was like, why can't I see nobody? It's because I had like you guys off so I could see my. Anyway. Oh, woo! Made 42%. That's a great start for day one. Almost done with your diamond painting. 408 words. I'm on a roll. Is it a ciabatta? 720 words done. I totally need to go to bed. You should do that then. Tis important. Got some reading done. Just 68 pages left. Crushing it. 218 words. That's wonderful. If you can't bring yourself to finish the books, just DNF them.
I normally do.
Which book was that, Julie? It was Vicious by L.J. Shen. It's like a bully romance from like 2016, and I realized that they're just not my jam. I hate them so much. I hate them.
No, me neither. I look gross. Gross.
It's gross. I was like, I can read the darkest stuff, like super twisted. I don't care, but like the bully stuff doesn't do it for me.
That's grody.
It's not nice. It's a me thing. Maybe it's a me thing, but I feel like anyway.
It's a mentality.
Huh?
That means they like me, and I don't want to read that.
No. It's awful. I'm speed reading a lot of my current reads. That Thing project. It's an anthology. If the story isn't grabbing me on the first page or so, I skim just to see if anything's going to happen. Usually I love anthologies, but this one is not it. I rarely like anthologies. TBH.
Same.
Who says the woman who has an anthology? I guess
It's not an anthology. It's a collection.
It's a collection of flashbacks.
I said it as I said it.
I said it as I said
I don't usually like anthologies unless they're like, the thing is about an anthology is it's usually a bunch of different authors, and there's always only like one or two that I like, and the rest of them I don't even like. So then you're like, I feel bad for rating it low because I didn't like all of these stories when I actually really loved that one.
Yeah.
So I just don't read them.
I typically go through and rate them all, like
separately.
Each individual story, and then average it, and that's what I average the book at. I rate the book at.
But still, it's just like,
I like them in the sense of, especially when you're like, say you don't read a YA romance very often, like normal YA romance without magic. And so there's like Meet Cute, which we read for AuthorTube Chat once, which is like a bunch of different really popular authors who write YA romance.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like
a taste
of their writing style to know if it's something that you want to look more into in the future.
It's fair.
But I never buy an anthology going, oh my God, I love this author. I can't wait to read their thing, and then hate everything else, because that's what happens. Sometimes you don't even like the one from the author that you like.
Also true. I've read a couple that I didn't loathe entirely. And I do in my like Goodreads, when I used to do Goodreads reviews, I would rate each individual story separately and give like a review on each one. But then like the Shauna McGuire one, right? Like it's a whole bunch of her like short little novellas and stories that she published separately in different anthologies, and then she took them and put them into her own anthology. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like
That's
that
a collection. Yeah.
That's a collection, right? Like that one's like,
yeah.
I corrected
Collections
myself.
I don't mind. Like collections of poetry by the same author, collection of stories by the same author.
sure.
I don't mind those.
You know what
It's
you're
just when
getting.
it's a bunch of different authors, I don't care for.
No, thank you.
I checked myself after I wrecked myself.
Yep.
Not before.
I said it as I said it.
I said it as I said it.
Reading in a fugue state is my new favorite expression. I do. You're very welcome. Anthologies are usually not my thing, but I just keep picking them up.
We're always like, this is the one that's going to be
This
great.
is going to be it. I usually pick up anthologies because of the themes or the concepts rather than based on the authors. That's valid. I do love Shauna McGuire. Yeah, I do too. Did I love her enough to pay the money that I spent on that damn book? Clearly,
Apparently.
yes.
She's hit or miss sometimes, though.
Yeah.
Never read anything by her.
Really?
Nothing.
Her Wayward Children series is definitely worth it. Everything else is like, take it or leave it.
I would suggest Myra Grant. I would do Into the Drowning Deep.
It's on my list of
Yeah.
like things I want to read
That
at
is
some
a good
point.
one.
But
That one should.
honestly, I don't know that anyone who reads has ever said this, but I don't feel like my list is that long anymore. Because like I just have
Your list,
become
what, your hit list?
like things I want to read. It's just I become very uninterested in things.
I
lately.
don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know new books that are coming out, authors that I like that are putting out like second, third, fourth books. I don't know anything that's coming out anymore. So I don't really have like an anticipated read at all anymore. Because I just don't care to like keep track of it anymore.
I don't keep track. I keep track of like my faves, right? And then outside of that, I really haven't been keeping up with it. I just don't have the bandwidth to keep up with them all. But I do still have what I consider to be a sizable TBR on my shelves that I am still interested in because I have ruthlessly unhauled everything I don't want to read.
Looking at my shelves right now, there's not a single thing on there that I want to pick up and read right now. And I think that's why I'm saying that these two books are not the problem. The problem is me.
Yeah, you're the problem.
Because I'm looking at like books that I could read the Well of Ascension. I could pick that up right now. Don't really feel like it. I love these books. Not feeling it. I've got
Maybe
some
you're just in a book slump.
mid-grade spooky. Don't care.
Why don't you reread a fave?
Eh.
Oh, okay. Maybe don't read for a
Maybe
little
you're just
bit.
in a book slump. Maybe you just need a break from reading for a few days.
You know what you should do for a little bit? Just write. Just focus on writing for a little bit.
Fuck you, Julie.
Just saying.
She does that to me too.
I'm going to finish these 3 books that I've started, even if it kills me.
Why don't you finish writing the one book that you've started?
First off, I've started writing more than one book.
Well,
Second off, I've finished this book twice. Technically.
finish it a third time.
Maybe I finished it 3 times. I finished it a bunch.
We finished a diamond painting. What is the name of the
Nice.
book? I think Shauna can do no wrong. It's Laughter at the Academy. And it was
Yeah.
a limited print run. She only printed like what, 1,200 copies of the book? Was it
I
1,200?
have mine right here.
I think mine is. I packed mine already. I think
Ugh.
I did. Yeah, but it says in there it's one of
And-
what? It's like there's not many. They were stupid expensive.
Hang on.
Obviously, you guys don't have problems spending money on stupid expensive books.
No, I don't.
1,250.
There you go. 1,250.
1,250. My copy is number 899.
I have that. I haven't read it yet. Well, then you have a very limited edition book.
Yep. I kept my receipt because I was flabbergasted at the time that I spent $46 on this book, and now that's not the most expensive book that I own anymore.
No, hers is 46. I pre-ordered mine and then they sold too many pre-orders. My pre-order didn't count anymore and I had to get it from a second party seller and I paid like 80 because my very valid pre-order was apparently they'd oversold. And so I was not getting
And they never refunded you?
Yeah, no, they refunded me, but I didn't get a book. Like they were like, oh, it's refunded, but they'd sold out of like all the copies already. So I had to buy it from like a third party, like on like.
I think you spent about the same as me, and mine was 46. I had the receipt in it.
I don't know that that's true.
I had the receipt in it.
I understand that.
Did you bought it from the same place, Abe Books?
Oh, well, then maybe I did. Maybe it was just a lot at that time for a book.
At that time, it seemed like a lot. I think I did spend like $80 on
the Laini Taylor.
Like these hardcover Laini Taylors.
Yeah.
Which still isn't the most expensive book that I've
Still not my most expensive book.
I don't have like a most expensive book. I mean, I'm sure I do, but I don't have one that like I've spent that kind of money on. But when you look at the fact that I own, just looking at Truth Witch, the original US hardback, the updated US hardback, the UK hardback, the UK paperback, the German edition, the Serbian edition, the Chinese edition. I think I have newer UK hardbacks. I have like 7 or 8 or 9 or 12. So I mean, to be fair, the German edition was a gift. The Chinese edition was a gift. But still.
I love that the book that you love most, that you have collected the most of, is one that I tried to read 4 times and DNF'd each time and then just got rid of.
I love them.
I couldn't do it.
I'm telling you, the same as I tell everybody else. And I feel like the first book was very predictable. And I feel like there were a lot of things in it that was like, okay, sure. But the series as a whole to this point, because I know there's still another book coming, like, she is a master at putting in little tiny scenes that you think mean absolutely nothing and become the entire pivoting point of a book 4 books later. And I love it. Like, the best part about those books is rereading those books.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us need to apologize for books that we love, books that make us happy, and books that we buy multiple copies of just because we want to. We don't have to apologize for that.
No.
I, as an author, would love to be that for somebody one day.
Absolutely.
Know? So, like, even though I've never read Truth Witch and everything, I'm not going to be like, I don't understand why you like that book so much. Well, obviously, I don't. I haven't even read it. How would I understand?
No.
Right.
But there's books that I love and that people are like, really? It wasn't very good. And I'm like, well, I liked it. And I'm not going to apologize for that.
Same.
Most people have never heard nor read my favorite book of all time. So, you know. But I love watching my friends try to say the name off the top of their head.
I can do it.
This is actually my favorite book of all time. It's a children's book. It's an actual, like, mid-grade, before mid-grade was a thing. And I thought about this book for years as an adult and went on a search for it. This was originally published in 1963. No, that's not right. That was one of the poems that's in it. This is definitely, it was 1991. So, like, when I was an actual child, I got this book and I read it. And it was the first time I ever read a book that was like horror-ish, that I was like, oh, this is cool. This is something I like. And I thought about the book for years. And like a couple years ago, I finally like tracked it down on Amazon and got a copy.
Love that.
And no one's ever heard of it. And it's literally about a girl that can see the past through dollhouse windows, like sees ghosts and through the dollhouse.
It's creepy.
It's great. I love it. It inspired me to want to write like horror and spooky and
I love that
like,
your
creepy
horror,
books.
your favorite horror as a child inspired you. My favorite horror as a child terrified me as an adult.
Your favorite horror
Terrifies
as a
me as an
child
adult.
also terrified me as an adult.
Me too. That book is wrong.
I was like, oh my God, I loved this book. And I read it again and I was like, what was wrong with baby me? Like,
We found it online and I was like, I'll get it too. I'll read it with you and we'll read it together. And I was like, Julie, what was wrong with you?
I remember loving it so much. And then I read it as an adult and I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying.
No, it is terrifying. Her other book, because it's the one people don't know, but we're talking about Christina's Ghost.
Yeah.
And that author also wrote a book called Dollhouse Murders that I also picked up after I read Christina's Ghost.
I don't know where it is.
And it's spooky, but it's not scary like Christina's Ghost.
No,
it's
I
actually
had
really
it-
good.
I thought I had
Christina's
it down
Ghost
here
is
somewhere.
terrifying.
It's
There's a
absolutely scary.
Audiobook of Time Windows on
It's probably not very long.
Look. It's 7.5 hours.
Yeah, that's not very long. Audiobook narrators, they talk so
It drives me
slow.
bananas. Absolutely.
It's really
mean-
good. I like it.
Yes, but I'm
And I've
struggling.
reread it as an adult many times and it still holds up.
I don't know that I have a favorite book. Is that bad?
Mine's a semi-definitive list of worst nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
So
I said it was a beginner's guide to kink.
I will say that
I heard what you
my
said.
my
heard
favorite
you.
book that I've read that's modern, like my favorite book in the last 5 years that I've read is Rules for Vanishing.
That's a really good one.
So good.
That's a really good one.
That one it is the perfect spooky YA book. Like it is what I want my
It
books
is
to
really
be.
good.
It is
Yeah.
perfect.
It is absolutely what I want my book to be, but my book is like that book after it's been drowned in a river, burnt in a fire, buried underground, and then the pages have been bleached and there's just like some random white bitch left on the page. Like that's what my book is. It's awful. And I'm so sad about it.
I remember you sent me like a Marco and you're like, I'm angry. I want my book to be spooky and it's not spooky.
I don't know why. I can't fix it. I'm still mad about it. That's why I'm not doing it, because I'm angry.
Why can't I make it spooky?
Why can't it be scared? I understand how to be scared. I'm scared of everything.
Just
I
put
know
in a
how
little
to
bit
be
of Christina's
scared.
Ghost.
I feel like mine is still fairly spooky, like my first draft, because there's actually a version of it that I wrote first that's not anything like the version I wrote this time. But I had Julie and then my two writer friends that live in Texas. We did like a little group one chapter read, and everybody was like, "Ooh, I can see like the creepiness and like the atmosphere," and I was like, "That's what I wanted. Yes, thank you." The rest of it, not so much. I'm like, "That's fine. I got that. That's fine."
Got nothing. I can't spook.
You know?
I can't be scared. I don't know why. I don't know. I know what the emotion feels like.
I would hope so.
I know how to be scared.
Feel free to share your favorite books in the comments. I legitimately don't know that I have one. Bird Box.
I do like Bird Box. I wouldn't call it a favorite, but I do like it.
I have not read it.
But I did.
feel like I
did
have,
not like. I don't know if you've read this book by him. Not good. Bird Box is not as good compared to that. I mean, it's good, but that's not.
Is it a cop out to have like favorites by genre? Like I feel like
No.
I have favorites in like different areas for different reasons. I have different
No.
hoes in different area codes, is what I'm getting at.
Me too.
I get that. I think that makes sense.
You know? Like I have too many. I have like one for character building. I have another one for like setting. I have another one for writing style. Like I have another one. I have too many. Recommends the audiobook.
I did listen to the audiobook for Bird Box, so
I can't do that. Which one did you show? Which one did I? Oh, the house at the house in the lake.
a house at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
At the bottom of a lake.
Such
It's
a
a
weird-
little novella, and it's not good. Like, there's so many people online that love it, so like you may love it if you read it, but I thought it was stupid.
What's your favorite sci-fi?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pick another children's favorite? Probably not.
Yeah.
A modern one is Long Way to a Small Angry Planet.
Yes.
But the first book I read as a child that got me into sci-fi is called This Place Has No Atmosphere.
Oh.
It's about a girl, and it's in 2057. 2057, this girl and her family go to like live on the moon because they have like a colony on the moon. And she's upset because like she just started dating a boy for like the first time she's dating a boy.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 14 or something. And her grandmother in this book was born in 1982, which is the year that I was born.
Up.
And as a kid, I was like, what?
Fuck
Like
right
it blew
off.
my mind, you know?
Yeah.
Because she was like in her 70s or something. And it like blew my mind, the thought of being in my 70s when I read it as like a
As a
12-year-old.
kid. Yeah.
Let's see, what year did this one come out? This one came out in 1986. So I was
Like
pretty
that
young
one.
when I read this one.
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid. I'm sorry.
I thought it was Killer of Dragons.
But like, don't apologize for what you like, because that's awesome that you liked it.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I like A Long Way to The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet is my overall favorite sci-fi.
I don't recommend reading Black Mad Wheel. Don't read that one. It's weird.
I don't. It's not that it's weird, and it's not that it didn't have a definitive ending. That's fine with me. It's just that it was unrealistic and stupid.
Of course, it was unrealistic.
No, I'm not even talking about the parts of the house being at the bottom of the lake. The characters and the way that they acted and reacted to each other and everything was not good.
It was not great. All right. Friends, family, countrymen. We're going to go.
Romans?
I don't know. Romans. Brethren. We're going to go, but we will be back next Sunday with more sprints. No, wait. What? Yes. Yes, we will. For a second, I was like, it's the middle of June and it's the relays. It's not. I've got issues.
You got them too.
Countrymen, you're very welcome for the sprints and the lovely evening. Thank
How
you
about
for joining us.
country ladies?
Country ladies.
Yeah, I don't think we have any guys in the chat today.
Country fellows. Country people. All right.
Gentle fellows.
Gentle folks.
Ooh.
Yeah. No. You're
I
welcome.
don't like it.
You're
I
welcome.
don't like it at all.
All right. Have a fantastic week, everybody. If you have the day off tomorrow, enjoy that. If you don't, sucks to suck. But we love you. That's it. That's all I got. Say bye to the people.
Bye to the people.